Dan RadioStyle, I hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. 7 laws of attraction. Yes, these are actually very, very helpful. Law of attraction obviously being one of them, or what we call the law of manifesting, or as it's sometimes called. It's a slightly different breakdown of the 12 spiritual laws, 10 spiritual laws. There's a bunch of spiritual laws. I like the 7 because it really did kind of hone in on some of the real key ones that we have to keep in mind. So try to do them quickly. The law of manifesting speaks primarily to what we call the law of attraction. There's 7 components, at least from this video, and how the law of attraction actually does work. But what we call the law of manifesting is what you focus on, you bring more of in your life. So that's what we so frequently talk about in law of attraction videos and all the people that are trying to talk about these things with everybody out there. That really the whole concept is a focus-based universe. What you focus on, you create more of. So that's a very, very key part in the whole manifesting process. Focus, intentional focus, focusing on things that you actually want rather than focusing on things you don't want. And a lot of us spend more time focusing on things we don't want than what we do want. It's kind of where doubts creep in, which is going to be another one of these. So we'll talk about that step more then. There's the law of magnetism, which means the energy that you're vibrating at, the energy that you're behaving at, the way you're thinking. So the harmonics that you create in your body when you're just interacting with yourself, with the world, with life, just kind of your normal energetic flow, is sent out and it comes back. It's who you are, it's what you're vibrating at. And they always say like energies attract like energies. Law of magnetism states that what you're vibrating at, you're going to create more of in your life. More of that same vibration is going to come at you. So you could be focusing, say, on your specific person, for example, but your energy is kind of nasty. So what you're attracting maybe from them is bad experiences, maybe unhappy experiences. Maybe they're ignoring you. Maybe they've blocked you, right? Because your energetics are not so good. And so you're attracting more of your kind of dirty feel back on yourself. But you're still doing focus-based work, so they're still showing up in your window. You're still manifesting more experiences with them. It's just those experiences maybe aren't quite what you're after. So law of magnetism plays a huge part. You want to try to clean up your energy. That'll help clean up what you're currently trying to manifest out to everyone else. Law of unwavering desire. This is the one that speaks about your doubting. Doubting is focus in the opposite direction of what you would like to accomplish. So if I'm trying to accomplish spending more time with my specific person, but then I follow up with a doubt thought that says, oh, they're not going to want to spend time with me. Oh, they're probably still mad at me. Oh, no, they're with a third party, whatever. Then all of those doubts become a focus in and of themselves, okay? So you're countering your manifestation with an opposite manifestation. So now the universe is just like, hey, whoa, hang on, what do you want? What are you trying to do? Well, I want this, but I swear it's not going to happen. But I want this, but I know it can't happen. But I want this, but I don't think it can happen, right? Make up your mind, decide it, go for it, do it, commit yourself, jump in with both feet. You need to be free of doubts if you're going to manifest quickly, right? I get that that a lot of people are just asking you to believe all this stuff airy-fairy. I get there's that whole component. And I've done videos on that, and we can do more in the future. I have no qualms about talking to a lot of the places that people, I think, have legitimate concerns. It's not just about thinking good thoughts. It's not. It's not that simple. There's more to it. I think these 7 steps give us a very good insight into some of that complexity that so many of us want to just go, no, all I got to do is think good thoughts. No, that's not really true. You have to do more than that. It's not just the focus. It's not just the thoughts. It's also how you're being with other people, the energetics, right? What we're putting out. And when we have doubts, doubt cycles mean we don't believe the process. We don't understand that what we think, feel, and focus on creates more of the same. When we doubt that, we're doubting the ability we're doubting the process. We're doubting the way this works. Now, I get if you're going for a specific person, maybe we're having doubts from time to time whether or not they're choosing you or not. But ultimately, if you're still trying to create something or manifest something, you've got to stay pretty firm on the direction of the manifestation. Doubts start to create, kind of the way I see it, is almost smokiness in your energy. It's kind of a dirtiness into your energy. And that doesn't help you manifest what you're after. It actually causes either the opposite or, in a lot of cases, depending on what your doubts are based on, because they could be fear and all these other things, right? If your doubts are based on these fear-based things, you can actually manifest the thing you're afraid of because you've spent so much time focusing on that doubt. So doubts are dangerous. They really are. And if you're going to try to do something, you really need to believe in it. You got to have a story. I did that affirmations versus affirmations video. I'll link that below because I actually think that's a really good video that talks about affirmations are one thing. You just make the statement, right? And that statement's great and groovy. But the affirmation's more of a question. And what it does is it forces you to kind of create statements that your brain can get behind. It forces you to create the story that makes sense to you, that you can back up. So your doubts are limited rather than just saying, I am rich. And then your mind follows up with, no, you're not. You're not rich. You're barely making ends meet right now. And you're like, yeah, but no, that's what I'm changing. I am rich. And it's like, all right. So affirmations would be like, why I am rich, or why am I rich? And so you start going into the things, well, I'm increasing in my professional standpoint. I'm definitely interviewing for a better career. I just got a big raise that's helping out. There's this possibility of maybe downsizing a certain aspect, which is actually going to cause me to save a bunch of money, which is like getting a raise. So there's a lot of ways that you can actually build affirmations around what's actually working in your life. And then that answers the question, why am I wealthy? Why am I rich? Well, here's why. Here's the things that are going on. Number 4, the law of delicate balance. Really the key with this one is being happy now, being happy with where you're at, not being obsessive, not being desperate, none of that kind of stuff. When you've got that level of desperation, you are no longer, you're not balancing life. And it truly is a delicate balance. You're not really balancing your now with what your future's going to be. You're spending a lot of time putting effort out on things that are outside of yourself, and you can't really control those things, but you can control what's going on inside of yourself. So really it's about kind of trying to not put things up on a pedestal, because again, that kind of creates an imbalance. It's about trying to keep ourselves happy with who and what we are currently. It's very important that all these things come to work. Now, what some of you may already be noticing is these are techniques basically that are shared with you when you follow law of attraction. So all of us are focused on this focus-based universe, but then on top of that, we need to be happy. We need to make sure we don't doubt. Well, these are separate laws unto themselves. So a lot of these techniques are rooted in these 7 basic laws. And really, when we attack it from these 7 rather than just focusing on stuff, just imagining something, just doing the asking, there's more to it than that. And really successful manifestation requires there to be a balance, there to be an unwavering desire, a magnetism because your energy, and of course what you focus on. And on top of that, I've got the 5th one, the law of harmony. Harmony means that you're kind of aligning with the universe. You're aligning with your life. You're aligning with your area. So what you're asking for is in alignment or in harmony with the bigger picture. A lot of times, one of the examples I use is when we have an individual that's maybe in a relationship and we want to be with them, right? But they've maybe got the relationship and maybe they've got 2 kids that are involved in this situation. Maybe there's a grandparent that lives with them. I don't know. Who knows? We're going to make this one fun, right? Well, now our focus is I want to be with that person, so I'm going to manifest breaking that family up so they can be with me. That's not really in harmony with the universe around you. Now, if this gentleman wants to get a divorce because him and his wife are just totally unhappy, and that's kind of what's already happening, then that's cool, and you can kind of sit on the outside of that and let that play out, and once it does, then of course they're now going to be free. But if your manifestation requires that to happen, well, now you're asking to displace 2 children, a wife, you're causing to break up this family and the situation they've got, and possibly this grandparent that's living. You're causing a lot of disharmony through your manifestation. Odds are your manifestation's probably not going to be granted because from a higher self standpoint, your higher self's like, no. That's against what our soul is here to do. We're not trying to ruin other people's lives. We're trying to help other people's lives and make other people's lives better and work within the confines of other people's lives, to work within that harmony that exists between our fellow man, woman, person, right? We're trying to work within that balance, and that is really where that harmony can come into place. I will say this is probably one of the harder ones to see when you're kind of coming at this from a more basic fundamental level, But as you progress through some of these spiritual evolutions that occur and you start realizing the way we're involved with other people's lives and the way we interact and the way we actually have things pop up into our realities that we had asked for, kind of, or here's an opportunity to help somebody, there's a lot more to life than just us manifesting our desires. There's an interaction that occurs with others. And that actually kind of ties into these last two anyway. So number 6, the law of right action. It's how you treat others. It's doing the right thing, doing right by others. If you're trying to manifest more money, but you're doing it from trying to create a Ponzi scheme, for example, right? You're trying to come up with some way to get money from people that's not legit, or you're not really giving them the service that's equal to that, right? You're just trying to get rich and that's your focus. You're not doing it necessarily in the right kind of concept. Now, I will say, from the standpoint of service to others, I've talked about it briefly, Law of One or Law of Ra, depending on how you want to look it up. Law of One's what it's typically called. There's two paths. There's the service to self and service to others. So from a service to others path, which is probably most of my audience, you definitely want to be thinking about the right action. You want to make sure you're not asking to do things to others. And this ties into harmony a little bit in my mind too, but it's the fact that there's others on this planet and being good to them, being good about them, and the whole relationship that exists between us and others, taking that into account truly matters. So if you're on a service to others path, you really, really want to keep that in mind. If you're on a service to self path, you're very selfish 95% of the time in your behaviors and actions, and really other people are a tool to help you get to your goals. Now, again, it's a very selfish path. It's extremely hard to graduate that path. It's very, very easy to graduate the path to service to others, comparatively speaking, in my mind, because only 50+% of the time you have to be good to others, or at least trying to be good to others, or service to others, and you graduate. In the sense of service to self, 95% of your actions have to be self-centered, selfish, and really this is where a lot of the I'm drawing a blank on the name. So many people are into people that are very self-centered, selfish, and all that stuff. And really, the way society is shaping up right now, with the way people are with their selfies and all this junk, right? We're so very into ourselves now and what others think of us, and how many people liked what I just did. We are all becoming a little bit selfish in that regard. I don't know why I can't think of the fun word that everybody's talking about these days. But yeah, whatever the case is, all of you out there will probably throw it in the comments and remind me, like, yeah, that's the word I was thinking of. The last one is law of universal influence. This one is really where thought transmissions and all those types of videos come from my standpoint. Law of universal influence. We are all connected. Our higher selves are talking to each other's higher selves all the time, especially when we dream. It's one of the reasons why some dreams, I think there's a variety of kinds of dreams, but some types of dreams are very much our higher selves working with other people. So you're having a dream about your specific person and it seems very real. Yeah, that's awesome. You're getting an experience. It's like being with them, isn't it? It's actually extremely powerful. So those moments are really awesome. So part of this connection, and certainly one of the things that you can pay attention to. Does it mean something? Well, the dreams mean whatever they mean. That's something you can kind of figure out, the symbolism that's used, whether it's trying to tell you something or whether you're truly just getting to enjoy the person that you want to spend time with. Maybe you can't spend time with them in real life right now, but when you get into dream life, well, you can, and it's very real, isn't it? Well, so what's the difference? So while you're sleeping, while you're not conscious to the rest of the world, you're conscious of your specific person and having wonderful dreams about them. So again, it's that ripple effect. It's that connection to others. It's that understanding what I'm sending out to others is what's coming back to me. If I want to make a better experience in my own life, then send out better experiences in others' lives, and that's what will come back to me. So when you go to the coffee shop, even if you're frustrated in the morning, be cool to the person behind the counter. Whatever it is that you're grumpy about is probably not their fault unless they are just outwardly being a horrible person to you personally. But that being said, even still, a lot of times by not giving someone power or not letting them get under your skin, you actually take your power back and you disempower them. You take away their abilities to make your life challenging, right? So by doing that, you can make things better for yourself also. But again, it's the core concept. Ripple effect is kind of the good one to remember. We are all connected. So you've got law of manifesting, focus-based universe. Law of magnetism, we attract based off our energies. We attract back to us. So you want a cleaner energy to get cleaner stuff back. Got law of unwavering desire. Don't want to be doubting stuff, right? You've got your law of delicate balance. Want to kind of make sure you're happy now, enjoying where things are at right now, enjoying the process, enjoying the flow, not constantly being unhappy with how I don't have what I want and all that stuff, right? Like, stay focused on the bigger picture, stay focused on where you're heading, understand that things ebb and flow, understand that there's timings and synchronicities and all that stuff is playing a part in our lives. Law of harmony, just kind of keeping it harmonious with others, just trying to make sure we're working within the confines of maybe our neighborhood or universe or source, like the people that we're trying to do, just not trying to ask for things that are going to create disharmony or disunity, asking for things that actually benefit more and more people's lives at one time than not, right? Those are kind of some of the concepts that come into that. You got the law of right action, making sure you're doing things that are actually right by others. You treat others the way you'd like to be treated yourself. It's the service to others kind of mentality where how can I help? How can I've got just bumped into this person here in real life. What's for? Why is this happening? How can I interact with this person and benefit his life and my life at the same time? Like, it's that kind of understanding, that right action, working with people. That kind of works in harmony too. Again, those are similar things, but it all has to do with kind of how we're treating others, what we're sending out. And then, of course, law of universal influence, which is we're all connected. That ripple effect, thought transmissions, all that stuff is very, very real and explained by that law of universal influence. Hopefully these things help. This, if incorporated into your manifesting techniques, right? If you sort of look at these, the bigger picture of what manifesting truly is, you will actually find that you will have a much better experience with manifesting, and you'll also find that you're manifesting in line with your soul purpose and things along those lines. And oftentimes when people are not successful with manifesting, it's usually because there's aspects of this that are not working out properly. Maybe they're trying to get someone they shouldn't. Maybe they're trying to impact a group of people and actually will cause hardship on that group of people because of what I'm trying to manifest. Those cases, you're probably not going to get what you want because, again, what you're asking for is maybe a little more on the selfish side, and what they've got going on currently can survive their little problems, and they work better as a unit, and you're asking to affect 4 people versus 1. So universe is going to side with the 4 and say, no, sorry, you're not going to get your request, or they're probably going to stay ignorant of that request, or they won't respond to it. So again, if these things can be brought into your manifesting portfolio, if you will find way better experiences with manifesting. It's not just focus. It's not just what words you use. There's a little more to it. There's a lot more to it, really. And it's a fascinating area. And really, when we kind of get in harmony with that process, you'll find that this is actually a lot more fun. Even if you haven't manifested yet what it is that you're after, you enjoy the journey far more. The journey is so cool when you can sit back and actually appreciate what's going on. I did that video not long ago, the observer, and how the observer, you can really kind of train them to pay attention to the way things are unfolding in your life. That's the same kind of thing versus observing it's not happened already. Where are you at in that cycle? See, all these things tie together. And if you can get your mind in the right place, your experiences will definitely improve, and you will see the things that you're trying to create in your life much, much sooner. Hopefully this makes a difference. Stay on Radio Style. If you like what I'm doing, please comment. Please, you can throw show topics out there, ideas for other shows. Always interested in that kind of stuff. Please like, share, comment, all that good stuff. And if you haven't subscribed, please do me a favor and click that little subscribe button. And there's a little notification icon that looks like a bell. If you click on that and you get the little lines next to it that looks like it's ringing, that actually means you'll be notified whenever I put out future videos, or even when I do my live ones occasionally on weekends. Well, sometimes I have some fun Q&As. Like on weekends, I'll be definitely doing one this coming weekend. And they're just a lot of fun. It's just fun to hop on there, see what questions happen, and interact with people that are actually on the live stream. So always good times with that. And usually some great questions get asked, and I have a good time just, taking the challenge and the test and seeing what crazy stuff people ask me and then do my best to answer it. So that's how we play that out anyways. So again, thank you for joining me, and more great videos will be coming your way. Thank you so much.